Hello, friends. Hope you are doing well. This is Azim Qureshi. In our last two videos related to English grammar, we uh, had studied about the sentence and the kinds of sentence, like statements or assertions are called declarative or assertive sentences. Statement that ask a question is called an interrogative sentences. A sentence that expresses a command or an entreaty is called an imperative sentences. A sentence that expresses strong feeling is called exclamatory sentences. So today we are going to discuss subject and predicate. So we'll write subject and predicate. So we need to, it is very important to understand the difference between the subject and predicate. It is vitally important when it comes to preparing for the competitive exams that are willing to score good marks in general, English sections or English language or exams as well. And when you go for the professional writings and for writing or professional readings, so it is going to help you out to bifurcate the subject or predicate. So simply when we make sentences, let me write it. So we name some person or thing. We talk about some person or thing. So subject we name or we talk about some person, or thing. And say something about that person or thing. And we say something about we name some person or thing, and we say something about the person or thing. We say something about the person or thing. So when it comes to having a complete understanding, so what we are going to do to find out the difference between subject Let me write it in a simple way. Uh, Difference, DIFFERENC, difference between subject and predicate. Subject is who or whom, who or whom means you're talking and you are saying, you are naming something for someone, you're referring someone, a thing, a person. And the predicate is the action done. The action, done. For example, he runs fast. So he is the subject, run is the action, and fast is the, defines the attribute of that action, sort of adverb. So we need to understand the individual meaning of subject as well. Let me know you the individual meaning of subject and predicate as well, so we can better understand about the subject and predicate. Very simple. Subject is a person, or thing that is being discussed, described, or dealt with. With. So a person or thing that is being discussed, described, or dealt with is simple a subject. A further, definition of the subject is a branch of knowledge studied or taught in a school, college, or university. A subject, for example, English is a subject, mathematics is a subject. So the other definition of the subject is A branch, branch, branch of knowledge, 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 branch of knowledge, studied or thought, studied or thought, TAUGHT, thought, studied or thought in a school, college, or university. In a school, college, or let me write it, or university. So these are the two reasonable definitions of the subject: a person or thing that is being discussed, described, or dealt with; a branch of knowledge studied or taught in a school, college, university. As we are reading, we are learning the subject English language. Now I'll find out the definition of the predicate. Predicate. PREDICATE, predicate. The term predicate is used in one of two ways. In linguistic, and its subfields. For example, let me be more clear. A very good definition is a predicate is seen a predicate is seen as a property that a subject has or is characterized by. Has or it's characterized by. So a predicate is seen as a property that a subject has or is characterized by. A predicate is seen as a property that a subject has or is characterized by. Means it defines the actions and the attributes of the subject. In other words, we must have a subject to speak about and we must say or predicate something about the subject. So simple. In other words, we must have a subject to speak about. In other words, we must have a subject to speak about and we must say or predicate something about the subject. Subject. Or we also say, hence, every sentence has two parts, friends. Has two parts. It is going to be very interesting when it comes to, making sentences and then further study the phrases and clauses, parts of speech. So you'll see a great improvement in your language. However, we need to understand the basic, the components of the sentences, because it will help you in a professional writing or a professional reading as well, and it will help you in developing your vocabulary as well according to the subjects. So every sentence has a two parts: the part which names the person or thing. Sentence has two parts: the part which names the person or thing we are speaking about, person or thing we are speaking about, this is called a subject. So it's a subject. The part which tells something about the subject. As I mentioned, that it has a two part. One part is which names the person or thing we are speaking about, is a subject. That is called the subject of the sentence. And the part tells something about the subject. The subject. This is called predicate of the sentence. Subject is called predicate of the sentence. Of the sentence. And the good definition of predicate is: a predicate is seen as a property that a subject has or it's characterized by. So we must have a subject to speak about, and we must say or predicate something about the subject. So this is how the overall sentence become. We make the sentence: subjects who or whom, predicate the action done, a person or thing that is being discussed, described, or dealt with is a subject. The other simple definition is branch of a knowledge studied or taught in a school, college, and university is also subject, as we are trying to learn English grammar is a subject. Again, sentences have the declarative. So as I mentioned that declarative or assertive sentences. So each sentence have a subject as well, and that subject has has action or uh, and being characterized as a property, which is called the predicate. So the another one is the interrogative. Interrogative, imperative, imperative, and exclamatory. Exclamatory, declarative or assertive sentences, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory. So we'll further study when we make the sentences. So we'll try to separate the subject or and the predicate as well, and we'll definitely differentiate among the sentences. Okay, like declarative sentences, assertive sentences, interrogative, and imperative or exclamatory sentences. So, most important thing, very important, the subject of a sentence the subject of a sentence usually comes first, usually comes first, but occasionally it is put after the predicate. But occasionally it is put after the predicate. So the subject of a sentence usually comes first, but occasionally it is put after the predicate as. So here comes, for example, here comes the bus. Here comes the bus. The bus is a subject. Comes is the action. Done. Predicate. Sweets are uses of adversity. Sweet. Here comes the bus. Sweet are the uses of the adversity. So we are telling you about the sweets, the uses, and the word adversity. What is adversity? is a difficult or unpleasant, situation. Adversity means difficult and unpleasant situation. The definition of adversity is a misfortune, a troubling situation, hardship. A few specific example of the adversity include self-doubt, physical inquiries, or illness. So this is basically a definition and the meaning of the adversity. So we'll work on the vocab as well. In imperative sentences, there's an example, also an example, very important, very, very important. In imperative sentences, the subject is left out as in imperative sentences, and I've already described the imperative, which actually the command and the request, the entreaty sentences, the